Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
go.
All right. So I've got a pretty tough question actually that I don't know the answer to. So I'm wondering what's more likely to happen in America, like given these types of conversations we're having right now. A racial caste system with segregation, or contingent that immigration is cut off, America becomes homogeneous.
Like, which is more probable of the two?
Yeah, probable or preferable.
I don't know, like, I think that the word racial caste system is very loaded. What I think is absolutely probable is the total schisming and the fracturing of the United States into more kind of like independent cities. I think that this will absolutely happen, but I would say probably, I think the homogeneity would be more probable over a racial caste system. But if a racial caste system were to exist, it would probably be like, the people who exercise mercy unendlessly, especially white liberals, these are the people who would probably find themselves at the bottom. So that's what I would say. I think that if immigration continues as it is now, some kind of, I wouldn't call it a caste system. I think I would probably call it much more of like a fracturing of the country.
Yeah.
And I think those places would be racially homogenous. That would be the case.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but we can both agree that with the current events going on, there's a lot of Hindu Indians coming here.
True.
Where do they come from? They come from a place with a caste system. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking ahead, and I'm seeing that like we could see some type of a caste system be brought here. Where there's like an elite class and there's like an elite stock of whoever the people are at the top, whether it's like whites or Jews, like whoever's at the top, they're gonna stay there. And and the people at the bottom, like who are maybe blacks, Mexicans, whoever they are,
like a Shiite.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying, but overall, the reason why I bring it up is because I actually don't want that, but it's like something that we need to be mindful of, because in the age of AI, the social mobility of people to move up and down the economic chain through things like education, going to school here, it's going to become more difficult, as the jobs and opportunities get less, and AI can do things that only humans could do before. So it's just one of the things that no one's talking about, but
True.
We could just get hit with sorry, there's no more economic opportunity. You can't move up, and so we do get these communities, these cities like you were talking about, and and I think about these dystopians of the people that are just poor and they just eat whatever the government provided for
perpetual poverty.
Yeah, so I'm just these are some of the things I think of, because if we do shut off immigration and we do a conscious, like you were saying, forcing English, maybe increasing intra-United States transportation, then that is how we could actually get that homogeneous society that wouldn't have this haves and have-nots, and from a genetic standpoint, they're looking down on each other. So
yeah, it's super interesting talking about the whole issue of automation, because when you actually look at how people see it happening in the future, the only conclusion they get to is UBI. Nobody will work at all anymore, and everybody will receive money from the government, which is super dangerous. I'm in favor of UBI replacing certain forms of welfare that we have, but yeah, with the way that automation is going, I think you're right that you would see people basically end up in this perpetual poverty. Something that has already happened to a large extent. The intergenerational transmission of wealth is not really good in every community. There are communities that have been poor forever. But it's not just because the state has kept them down, and I think that certainly would be exacerbated by what you're describing, just that the automation totally removing any of the jobs they could do and create a totally state-dependent class, which I think exists to some extent already. People who just totally live off the state. So hey, you might have won me over. Yeah.
I don't know, just something I'm thinking of.
Oh, thank you, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.